Let's take a look at tables and matrix and Power BI. These are extremely powerful and can kind of provide that Excel experience for your users that they're used to, while also giving you that dynamic ability of all the other features that we see within Power BI. So let's get started with the table and matrices, not donuts, although I do like some donuts. So we have a table list of rows with columns and values. So here's your table here. This is the visual that we have. And as you can see, it's currently using the table. There's also a matrix one. So I want to be aware that there's two different types here. You have your table, and then you have your matrix within the Power BI visuals. So if we go over here, we click it, we can kind of see that the columns are the product right now. So you see that the columns are product. We also have a total sales that's in here. So this shows you the total sales of the products table. And we also have the profit margin is also in here. So with that being said, obviously you can put measures and different things in here. So we can do that real quick. So let's say we want to put discounts in there. We can do that, gross sales, and we can keep going on and on and on and on until we have a lot of different stuff in here. So that's one of the great things about this is we can add new things. We can remove stuff just to kind of get going with it and making it what we need at that time. It is recommended that you use key measures and you're like explicit with what you're putting in there. So maybe you want to do like average. This is also a good way to test your measures. So like if you want to see a measure and what it's actually doing, put it into one of these, and then you can tell exactly what's going on and how it's reacting with different things within your visuals. So it's actually a really good way to just kind of explore your data and make sure things are working right within the Power BI interface so you're not providing the wrong data. So let's go over to the matrix. So the matrix, as you can see, it does move over to matrix from table here. And matrix pivots data, rows and columns with values in a grid. So here we can see this matrix. It kind of goes on and on and on, but we can add different things to the matrix and really get it to go. You can do some cool things if you're really good with matrices. They're a little more dynamic. You can set things up a little bit deeper on that front and do stuff. But as you can see, it's very simple in regards to here we got our columns, our segments. So we're actually pivoting the data here just by throwing segments onto this. So it's almost a pivot table like in Excel. And then we have then our total sales that is coming across here. So the matrix allows that kind of pivot, whereas you wouldn't have that functionality necessarily in the table. So that pivoting motion is very important. So you're able to kind of move data around. So like if I wanted to flip this, we can throw rows. We could throw countries over here and just see what it does. Gets kind of weird, right? Then we could throw segments. So you could flip it by country and really just like do it the way you want. So what would be really hard typically with like coding and things is just more interactive and the ability to update those type of things and make it really simple for you with the matrix one. So really good at pivoting rows and columns with values in your grid, and then a table just lists those rows and all that information in it with columns of values. So you can do different things. Table's a little bit more set rigid, and then this is really dynamic, the matrix. So it just depends on what you need there. Those automatic subtotals and things are really important because you can't do those as good with the table. So that gives you that kind of subtotals that you can see for each category that existed within that data. And that's really cool, right? Like you don't have to just do crazy things to get it done. You can see those subtotals and things like that. You can even make a added product there. And now we can drill into the different products and the different stuff and the categories that were there with those products. So I think that's very cool. It gives you a little bit deeper look at your data very quickly and what you need to see. So the matrix is extremely powerful in Power BI, and they did a very good job with the creation of these. You just kind of have to make sure that you just kind of play around with it to get the right thing that you want to set it up properly. But it's very quick. As we see, we just flip something over. It will just automatically move that data over to what you want it to be. So like maybe we wanted to do segment, we go down by country and things like that. Just certain things that just give it that extra edge. So let's bring this back over. Now we're going to go over it's great and when you need to read exact numbers and things like that. So these are just great little tools that you have within Power BI. One thing you can do is put maybe a visual out there. So let's say you had a visual, right? And you have these tables and matrices. We'll just do an example. And we want to do, for example, we'll have a country visual that has a country as a dimension. And then we'll also have a gross sales. We'll just start it on there, right? Who cares, right? Maybe discounts. We're not getting much out here, but you can kind of see. We'll do bar charts, and then we'll do country on that as a y-axis, and then we're going to throw gross sales on the x-axis. So that gives you that, right? But when you click these different things, it's going to filter down by it, and it makes it really intuitive. So if you can combine it with a short little visual like this, it really lets you explore that data, see that very quickly. You're just able to query it a lot faster. This would be very hard to do with like coding and languages like SQL and Python. Here you're just clicking it. You're having a good time. I think this actually does beat AI. A lot of people say, okay, AI is going to take our jobs, but we're forgetting about the exploratory analysis of a human here and being able to explore your data and see those trends. And humans can figure that out very quickly. Like, I know exactly, okay, France, my eyes go immediately. So if we have the right visual set up, we're actually really quick at figuring out patterns and things that are going on. So that's why Power BI is such a powerful tool with these tables and matrix. And if you add these visuals on top of that, you have one of a top-notch tool here for being able to just quickly see, okay, I want to see Carterra. What's going on there? Okay, I want to go over and I want to see the discounts and how that's affecting some gross sales. And you can kind of put those things together. You see just Canada. I just want to see France. I just want to see Germany. Things like that. And you can obviously set it up the way you want, but it gives you that extra oomph when it comes to this stuff and works out very good for you. Other videos on this channel, so make sure you check those videos out. Tons of Power BI, Tableau, making analytics videos, and just data videos in general. I'm just super excited about data and what it does, and I like to share it. So